Hello and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Mashup. I'm Kelsey Barberio.
And I'm Morgan Simpson with your weekly news update.
Students gathered at Davis College this past Tuesday to hear a lecture presented by Appleseed Legal Center about the immigration laws in South Carolina. Tammy Faucher, a lawyer at Appleseed Legal Center, discussed topics such as the stages of the immigration process. Students were also encouraged to let their voices be heard by voting for candidates that they found suitable for office. Voter registration was available to attendants after the lecture. Laura Cahew, a community organizer for Appleseed, stressed the importance of voting despite what she considers popular misconceptions of the process.
Ultimately, we hear about money interests and big corporations funding elections and campaigns, but money doesn't vote, but you can.
This past Wednesday, Piper Kerman, author of Orange is the New Black, visited the University of South Carolina. SGTV News4's Corey Drennan sat down with Kerman and discussed several things, including what she would change about the United States prison system.
So if there's one thing I would change about the prison system, I would shrink it, and I would shrink it substantially. There are many, hundreds of thousands of people who are in prisons and jails who don't have to be there. They don't need to be there. They're not dangerous to the public. They may struggle with mental illness or with substance abuse or with other issues, but they don't really pose a true public safety threat. And yet we choose a really costly intervention, and costly in every way. It's economically expensive to put people in prison and jail. It also has a staggering human cost. And so if there's one thing I would change, it would be to have a much smaller prison system.
This past weekend, parents came to USC to experience college life with their students. Andrea Esselman had the opportunity to speak with the students and their families at the events. Let's take a look.
I'm Andrea Esselman reporting for SGTV News4. It's that time of the year again. Parents are coming to Columbia from all over the country to visit their students and see the lives that they have built here at the University of South Carolina. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
South Carolina and meet with our son and have a weekend just about him and, the opportunity to see him since, we miss him.
It's not that often that they see me as well. It's only Thanksgiving or just the breaks.
Yeah, it's coming down and getting the flavor of South Carolina and seeing our daughter, of course, and seeing how well she's doing and enjoying the school. And just really kind of immersing ourselves in the culture down here, and we really love it.
It's just a nice time to touch base and be able to see each other physically instead of through Skype or texting.
I graduated from Carolina back in '85. So I haven't been back since. So when she chose to go here, we enjoy coming down on Parents Weekend.
It's important to me to come to make sure he's okay. And then plus I love it. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of seminars where you can learn about different things that are going on and what to kind of prepare for. And I love Parents Weekend. I really do. I enjoy it. I go to like everything that I can.
We walked around the horseshoe today and looked around at the game day festivities and everyone camping out. And so that was fun.
Especially coming from out of state, it's good to see them because it's been so long. It's been so long since I've seen them the last time, and having space is good, but always reuniting is awesome.
It's been a tough adjustment for me, but I'm so proud of her and just amazed that she can go so far from home and seems to be thriving right now.
I feel like when I went to college, my parents became my best friends, so having them come visit and seeing where I live instead of me going back home is pretty cool.
I mean, I miss my mom. Even as a senior, 21 years old, I still miss my mom.
I absolutely love seeing my parents, just even though 8 hours away, it is nice to have them come see me down here because it's a completely different atmosphere from at home to here, and this is my new home, you could say. So it's nice for having them down here to see what we have around here and have them at the game as well.
weekend for everyone, and we're looking forward to next year's Parents' Weekend. I'm Andrea Esselman, and you're watching SGTV News4.
Also this weekend was College Game Day on campus. SGTV News4 Shelby Erie and Capital City Sports Austin Lewis were on scene for all of the festivities. Here's a sneak peek on what is to come. Look for further coverage of Game Day over the next few days. That concludes our university news this evening. After the break, Kelsey will have your local and national news update.
See, we at Capital City Sports didn't think enough people on campus knew about us, so we decided to create an awesome commercial to tell people that we mean business.
Well, how's that going for you?
Well...
All right, everybody, get into places right now. Nick, get off your phone. Blake, get off your phone. Stan, your hair is the wrong way, opposite direction. Flip it. Katie, why are you looking at me like that? And lights, please. Lights, lights. All right, and action.
This is Capital City.
Ah! All right, throw the ball. Oh, what the? All right, is the fan ready? Get that started. All right, and turn your heads right now.
I love sports. What's my line?
This is not how the commercial is supposed to go. No, that's not what I mean by a stand-up. You're right.
Y'all must not know about me.
I don't care. This looks terrible.
It's going pretty good.
Welcome back to M&M. This is your local and national news report. Residents in the KC area may be in for a triple tax increase in the next few weeks. This Wednesday, an additional 2 cents on every dollar will be added to the bill for takeout meals from supermarkets and some snacks at convenience stores and dining in restaurants. There are also proposals for tax increases, including one to raise property taxes for Lexington schools improvements and other for roads and other county service projects. If all are approved, the typical family of 4 can expect a $500 increase to their yearly bill. Many residents think that it is too much all at once, while others understand the taxes are proposed for their services. Chicago flights are still canceled at Chicago O'Hare Airport 2 days after a fire at an air traffic control center. Yesterday afternoon, more than 550 flights had been canceled to O'Hare, the second busiest airport in the nation. Flights touching down or taking off were delayed, on average, an hour and a half. Improvements were expected today, however, the system will not be fully functional. Although functions are still down, the area still has improved since Friday when the incident occurred. Immediately following the fire, about 70% of scheduled flights had been canceled. Brian Howard, an employee, is charged with the destruction of the aircraft facility after he was discovered in the basement of the air traffic control center with self-inflicting wounds. He had attempted to take his own life after the crime. That concludes our national news this evening. Morgan will have the international report in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
Don't panic.
Put your bypass with the bag over your head. Put your bypass line away from the end.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. This is your international news. Protesters that have been demanding free elections and other democratic procedures in Hong Kong have faced a strong response from police. The sit-in outside of government headquarters was declared illegal, and protesters were subject to pepper spray and warnings, after which they were hit with tear gas. The event started as a week-long class boycott by college students, with an Occupy movement scheduled by other residents on Wednesday for China's National Day. The movement is called, quote, Occupy Central with Peace and Love, with the goal of paralyzing key business areas to pressure the authorities to revise their plans for this year's election. By this evening, streets all throughout Hong Kong have been occupied, causing traffic delays and the stock index falling about 2%. The election is supposed to be much stricter in 2017, with requirements on those eligible to vote and a committee that is deciding who the candidates will be. That concludes our international news this evening. Stephanie will have your weather after this. Stick around.
Here's a story
of an awkward lady
who never really knew just what to say.
And these new friends came along
to fix their problems. Hi, Teresa.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. I'm Stephanie Faucher with your weekly weather update. Tonight we have a high of 75 with a low of 72, and there is a chance of rain, so if you're heading out, make sure you grab your rain jacket. Tuesday, it's going to be there's going to be a high of 82 and a low of 63, and it will be mostly sunny. Moving on to the rest of the week, the temperatures are going to continue to be about the same, highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. However, on Thursday, you can expect a 10% chance of rain, and that's going to continue into Friday with possible thunderstorms in the evening. Saturday and Sunday are looking like they're going to be great days for hanging out on the horseshoe with highs in the 70s and lows in the 60s, and you can expect it to be sunny with partially cloudy. Moving on into some regional weather. In the Midlands, the temperatures are going to be about the same as in Columbia. We are going to be having highs in the 70s and 80s and lows in the 60s. There will be some storms throughout the region, so just make sure no matter where you are on your trips, you have your rain boots and a rain jacket just in case. Moving on to national, the temperatures are consistent throughout the country. Most areas are experiencing some rain, with some areas experiencing more severe storms in the Midwest that have possible hail as well as possibly damaging winds. So in the eastern section, there is going to be extremely heavy rain, and you can look forward to that. Hopefully in Columbia, we're not going to be experiencing any of that. In international news, Mount Onataka in Japan erupted over the weekend. There were 36 presumed deaths from this event, and there were 36 presumed deaths from this event, and people are still searching the answers. The authorities will be monitoring this for the next 2 weeks, and this has been the first eruption of this since 1979. This concludes this week's weather update. Stick around for sports with Stan Smith.
Welcome back to M&M. I'm Stan Smith with your University Sports. With game day on campus and Parents Weekend, Williams-Brice Stadium was sold out for the 7 o'clock game versus the University of Missouri. Number 13 South Carolina led a majority of the game, but a tough fourth quarter led to the 21-20 loss to the Tigers. All 3 Mizzou touchdowns were scored by tailback Russell Hansbrough. The big game changer occurred in the fourth quarter when Missouri scored on a 3-play, 67-yard drive in only 36 seconds. For South Carolina, junior running back Mike Davis ran for 104 yards, including a touchdown. This puts Davis 19th on South Carolina's career rushing yards list. South Carolina takes on Kentucky at 7:30 this Saturday. Moving on to the Lady Gamecocks, women's soccer also faced an upset this weekend with a loss to Georgia 1-0. This loss sends the ladies from a ranking of 14 to 22. A majority of the match was back-and-forth play with few shots on goal by either side. Georgia was able to lead with just 15 seconds left in the half. South Carolina came out strong in the second half and almost tied things up in the first 5 minutes, but Georgia held the Gamecocks' advances off. The ladies take on Alabama next, this Friday at 8. South Carolina's women's golf opened the season at the Reunion Resorts Watson course with a 4-under, 572 record after day 2. Junior Justine Dreer leads the competition shooting 4-under with 5 birdies for the first round and continuing to lead the competition in the second round with the same record. The Gamecocks sit on top just ahead of 1 stroke of Arizona. Other notables are Mary Fran Hillo and freshman Nana Madsen, who are tied for 12th, and Zi Zhenyang, who is seated at 40. The competition wraps up tomorrow with tea time at 8:50 a.m. The South Carolina volleyball team had a back-and-forth battle with Kentucky before falling in the 4th set. The ladies lost the game 3-1, causing their 8-match winning streak to come to an end. Kentucky led the match in kills, hitting percentage, and digs, while the Lady Gamecocks had an 8-4 advantage in blocks. Notable for South Carolina was Taylor McNeil with 13 kills and 6 digs. The ladies take on Mississippi State next in their first SEC road match this Friday at 8 p.m. That concludes your sports this evening, but there are more Monday Night Mashup after this.
So welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. Did any of you go camping this weekend for college game day? I know it was a big deal.
I did, and it was not as comfortable as I thought it would be. I was on the hard ground, probably on a bunch of tree branches and mulch, not on the soft grass. I got there a little bit late, and no one fell asleep. I figured that everyone would just have a mutual agreement just to fall asleep for maybe an hour, but no, it's a bunch of college students.
Didn't you go out and buy tents and everything, like specifically for
I
sleeping?
did buy a $50 tent. It was a great purchase.
What were you
expecting? Even though I didn't sleep in it, my friend Brian and his brother actually slept in it. I held our place in line so we can be in the pit at college game day.
And did you make it in the pit? I know some people.
I sure did. I made it front and center.
Nice. I probably saw you then. I was taking photos for the Daily Gamecock, so you probably saw me with the camera on the
College game
side.
day is definitely a big deal. I'm excited we had it here.
It's too bad we lost, though. It was a tough outing last Saturday.
All right. Well, thanks for watching this edition of Monday Night Mashup. Be sure to follow our coverage throughout the week on our website and follow us on Twitter at SGTV News4. Additionally, check out our weekend previews online every Friday for your university update on what is happening in and around the area each weekend. Have a great evening.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of SGTV News4 Weekend Preview.